Hey yo, this is Dash.
Yeah.
Hey yo, this is Dash, and we're gonna talk again about another barbecue tool. These tools are something that obviously are just not for barbecue. And you can read by the title, yeah, I'm a stickler for wearing gloves. I wear gloves because I like to protect my hands. Most gloves are the gloves that you'll see me using in my cooking videos are these. These are nitro gloves. They are 5mm nitro gloves that I get from Harbor Freight. They end up costing me about, I try to get them on sale, stock up on them when they're on sale. And I get them when they're like $6 a box of 100. So you figure each one of these gloves cost me 6 cents. So when I cook, I can easily go through, 10 or 15 sometimes pairs of gloves. But these are the best gloves that I found because they fit my hands. These are my least favorite gloves. These are like these cheap chintzy food service gloves, and I think I got these gloves from either the Restaurant Depot or Sam's, and they came in a box of maybe 3 or 4 boxes, or a pack of 3 or 4 boxes, and these gloves are absolute garbage. My main problem with these gloves is the fact that they don't fit my hands. Now, these gloves on the box, it says clearly one size fits all. If it doesn't say all, it might say most. But you see how tight it is right there and right there? All it takes is me to flex my fingers more often than not, and I have a hole in the gloves. And I've used these gloves when I've absolutely had to, but these gloves have been relegated because of the fact that I don't like them, and nobody really likes them because they're so cheap and chintzy. They are definitely single-use gloves. One task, take them off, get the next pair, get another pair of gloves on. These are garbage. You know who uses these gloves around my house? My kids, when they're washing the dishes. Okay, from my least favorite glove to my go-to most favorite, and I like these gloves, one, because they come in different sizes. Now, these are not going to be the best gloves to do working on vehicles or anything like that because they're so thin, but they work very well for what they are. Typically in my videos when I am cooking, I will put a glove on my left hand. This will be the hand that I use to touch the meat, to do any turning or flipping or anything like that. And my right hand is ungloved or naked so that I can touch my seasoning. If you look back at my videos, you will never ever ever see me touch meat and touch seasoning. Nope. So, and that's just been a good practice I've been carrying on for a very long time. Now, I'm gonna just keep these on and keep working and showing you some of my other favorite gloves. These are a set of high temperature, gloves. Now I use these gloves pretty regularly. What I typically do when I use these gloves, I will put a set of these gloves on so that my hands won't sweat inside of these gloves, and it'll make them more difficult for me to get on and off. So there's a quick tip for you. If you have a set of gloves that are rubber or latex like this, you want to put on a set of gloves so that your hands don't necessarily sweat. Now, if you run into the problem that I have very small hands. Okay, I'm being facetious here. And because I have pretty big hands, sometimes getting gloves on to fit properly can be a problem. Luckily, these high temperature gloves. These high temperature gloves were sized, so I believe this is a size large or extra large, or one of those large X/XL. Now, these gloves, I use these specifically for when I am pulling pork and it is piping hot. I like to let the pork cool just slightly, but if I'm, have a time crunch or something like that, again, I'll put on the nitro gloves and then put on the latex gloves. The problem I have with the latex gloves is because they're so thick, you don't have as much feeling as you do with the nitro gloves. And my preferred method of pulling pork is with the nitro gloves versus these. And my last but not least favorite pair of gloves, these gloves my wife actually got me. They are high temperature barbecue gloves. And they're, you know, pretty nice inside as far as being lined. And I use these gloves a lot. I've had these gloves probably for 3 years. And what I use these gloves mainly for is when I am outside at the smoker bringing hot food inside of the house once it is finished. I will typically grab one, if not both gloves, and I'm holding, you know, my food. These gloves also, because they're so thick, you can kind of lose feeling, but I'm typically holding the pans like this, you know, carrying the pan, supporting the pan, and I can walk from my house or from my garage to my house. So my wife actually found these at a Tuesday morning. They are Charbroil brand. This one gets used a little less because it's the left hand. And I typically just go out and grab the right hand and take it out to the smoker and carry a pan back with one hand. But they are Charbroil brand gloves. Now, you do not necessarily have to buy a specific barbecue glove. Prior to me using this barbecue glove, I was able to find a cheap welding glove. This was like a stick welding glove that will do the same thing, high temperature glove that you can get from Harbor Freight for less than 15 bucks, I would imagine. All right, so there's another, and you know, I'm just gonna keep these on, you know, because they're my favorite. There's another tool that I use not only just for barbecue, but around my kitchen. I've gotten to the point where I keep a box of these nitro gloves right behind my sink on my island when I'm cooking, so that when I do start cooking, the first thing I do is I grab a set of gloves, and that is, you know, or at least I grab one glove for my left hand. Typically, whenever I am working, I am using my left glove hand to touch any raw meat, and I'm using my right hand to do any slicing or seasoning. To me, personally, I always find it's a good practice to use a glove when in and or around the kitchen, especially dealing with raw meat, even cooked meat as well. So I have gloves scattered all over my house, all over my garage, all over, and I typically take at least 1 or 2 boxes of gloves with me when I go to an event as well. Nonetheless, if you like what you saw today, or if you learned something, please leave me a blue gloved thumbs up down in the bottom or down below. So thank you again as always for watching. If you haven't already, please do leave a thumbs up down below if you like what you saw or if you learned something. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to come on back to see more of these barbecue tools. And I'll see you guys next time.